According to commentator Jonathan Sacerdoti, Meghan and Harry have no authority urging world leaders to send COVID-19 vaccines to low-income countries and risk ridicule. He said, "I couldn't for the life of me figure out under what capacity Meghan and Harry are giving advice about vaccinations to world leaders." Using their positions as former senior members of the royal family, the couple signed a letter ahead of the G20 summit to highlight that promises made by global leaders weren't translating into vaccines reaching the people that need them. This isn't the first time that the Sussexes have spoken about the importance of vaccine equity. At Global Citizen Live last month, they both delivered a speech encouraging wealthy countries to help those with lower incomes. But Sacerdoti has criticized the pair for speaking on a matter that they are not qualified to speak about. With Meghan and Harry, we're talking about somebody that used to open boxes on Deal or No Deal and to appear in a legal soap opera, and somebody who was born into the British royal family and achieved I don't think very stellar results in his science education as a schoolboy, he added. Rather than spurring on genuine change, the commentator warned their campaign may put their reputation at risk. "I don't see how those two people in particular making the case is actually going to do anything other than invite ridicule towards them," said Sacerdoti. "I don't think it's going to progress that cause any further than it would have been progressed just by the WHO and other more convincing world leaders who have authority on this matter. They have no authority on this matter." Despite slamming Meghan and Harry, Sacerdoti did acknowledge that encouraging vaccine equity was something that many people would agree with, particularly as only 3% of the population in low-income countries have been vaccinated. "I think the idea of getting as much of the world vaccinated against COVID-19 as possible is, of course, an admirable one. And I think standing up for those in countries where they haven't got a successful vaccination plan as we do here in the UK or in other developed countries is of course a worthy cause and a valuable effort to make." But with COP26 underway and with the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge attending alongside Prince Charles and Camilla, the Spectator contributor noted that the climate change conference is an aspect of royal life that Meghan and Harry would have enjoyed. "I think that Meghan and Harry would have felt very much left out, and that's probably one of the moments when they would most have missed the side of royal duties that comes with being a working royal." The letter comes after Meghan issued a separate letter to U.S. Congress leaders calling for paid leave for all American parents. Meghan said she was writing as a mom and called on her own experiences to stress the importance of paid parental leave. The Duchess has often focused her work on women's empowerment, education and inclusivity. She even took Buckingham Palace staff by surprise when discussing International Women's Day in March 2019. Discussing equality in marriage, Meghan said, "There's nothing threatening about a woman coming up to the same level. I hope that men are part of that conversation. My husband certainly is." She later added that she hoped their children would go on to become feminists. Angela Levin is the author of Harry, Conversations with the Prince. She wrote, "Staff at the palace admit that they were caught on the back foot by her speaking so personally at certain events, but, I was informed, now they will wrestle back control." Ms. Levin wrote, "Meghan is not easily deterred from her goals and has shown that she has no qualms about working outside the rather antiquated royal machine." Since stepping back, the Sussexes have spoken in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, among others. Prior to last year's U.S. presidential election, they called on Americans to reject hate speech, misinformation and online negativity. A spokesperson for the couple said the comments were not a political endorsement, however, but instead a nonpartisan call for decency. However, before Meghan and Harry stepped back as senior royals, Ms. Levin wrote that a palace source told her, "Don't worry. The palace will always win. The palace machine is a force to be reckoned with. However impressive employees may be, in the end they are all worn down. It just takes different people a different amount of time. The best communication staff are those who have spent some time in the armed forces because they can take orders and know their place." Harry will have recognized this. In the Oprah Winfrey interview earlier this year, Meghan ensured she clarified the difference between the royal family and the institution. She said, "There's the family, and then there's the people that are running the institution. Those are two separate things, and it's important to be able to compartmentalize that, because the Queen, for example, has always been wonderful to me." A former royal household member told Ms. Levin, "As a member of the royal family, her life could be made very difficult and awkward if she doesn't conform." Ultimately, Meghan and Harry chose to step away. Harry told Ms. Winfrey, "I took matters into my own hands and had to step back for the sake of his family." They have since launched the Archie Foundation, after it was announced their Sussex royal brand would no longer be used. They have also launched a range of business ventures, including a partnership with sustainable investment firm Ethic, as well as a multi-million-pound deal with streaming giant Netflix.